Hello everyone! Today I want to review Star Trek Discovery Season 2 Episode 1, Brother. Season 2 of Discovery aired in early 2019, almost a year and a half ago now, I think, and I watched it right when it came out. And I had planned to review it since then and then never got around to it. I did a review of Season 1 that I did all together, and I had to gloss over a lot of things and I didn't really enjoy that. So for Season 2, I really want to go episode by episode, even though it's been a year and a half and everything. Still, I want to rewatch each episode and talk about it as I rewatch them. Episode 1 opens with Michael giving a story from Africa in a voiceover, and we get some flashbacks to her past about how she's lost her parents. And Spock, as a kid, is very cold towards Michael. He doesn't really greet her or talk to her and is kind of rude. And I don't think we get a lot of new information here. I genuinely can't remember at this point what we knew about Michael and Spock's relationship in Season 1, or if anything even came up. But I was pretty excited for this episode, even though I have seen parts of the original Star Trek, but I haven't seen that much of it actually, and I haven't seen the new movie reboot of the original. I've seen more of the Next Generation than anything else besides Discovery, but still, I was very interested to see how they would handle this. And seeing Spock for the first time as a kid, for the first time in Discovery as a kid, was interesting, and I thought it was very, how Spock and Michael's relationship is shown in this episode really intrigued me. Okay, my camera went dead, but we're back. Early in this episode, Captain Pike takes over the Discovery. And to be honest, I wasn't super excited about that. I know I just mentioned that I was intrigued about how Spock was handled in this episode, which was true, but I was also kind of nervous about the Enterprise being brought into Discovery and kind of worried that it would overshadow things. And the thing, I don't know, after having Jason Isaacs playing the captain in the Season 1, I mostly just felt like Pike was a boring option to me. Like I said, I've hardly seen the original series. I didn't know who Captain Pike was until I watched this episode, and then I researched the character more, but I still haven't seen anything with Pike in it except for Discovery. But I just wasn't that interested in seeing him. There was nothing about his character that I really found that interesting. And I'll talk more about what I thought about him and his character as I talk about the rest of Season 2, but starting off with Episode 1, I just wasn't that excited for him to be captain, because it felt like we could have gotten a more interesting character in that role. There were some jokes made once some of the Enterprise crew came onto the Discovery, and what was his name? The really obnoxious dude who was really annoying, Connolly, I think was his name, make some jabs about I know where the Federation puts its money now, about Discovery, which I thought was funny because obviously they're on the Enterprise and that series was originally made decades ago and looks very different. But then there were some jabs about the Enterprise uniforms and how colorful they are, and I did appreciate those. I thought that those were very amusing. Damn it, watching the old recordings was very sad. I forgot how sad Stamets' storyline gets in this season, and it all came back to me in this episode when I was watching, and I was just very sad. But when Tilly comes and she talks to him, and she finds out that he's being transferred and she's upset, and that moment between them, I really loved that moment. I really think Discovery does emotional moments like that really well. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of relieved when Connolly died, because if we had had to put up with him the whole season, I don't know if I would have made it through the season. We also meet Reno in this episode, and I love her. She is a very interesting character, and like immediately from when you first meet her, she's a very like different character than any of the other characters on the show, I feel like. So I feel like she adds something new to the crew of Discovery and is much more interesting than like Pike, who's our other main new character at this point. And then towards the end of the episode, we realize that Spock isn't on the Enterprise, and he's taken a break because for like reasons that he hasn't really shared. I think that's everything that I have to say for episode 1. Obviously, I will be doing reviews for the rest of season 2. Some of them may be written on my blog though instead of videos. We'll see what happens. But I will see you guys later. Bye.